Hello folks, I thought I'd better check in, not put a video up for a while. I've had a couple of holidays in close succession, the last one being 3 weeks in Florida in 35 degree temperature, and boy was the shock when I landed in Manchester to around about 8, I think it was. Looking in the greenhouse, so the peppers have succumbed to some of the cool overnight temperatures which I understand we've been having. So I'm going to try and salvage what I can off here, then get the plants out because I want to tidy this up and get the Vitapods back in here ready to start the onions and that off. Out on the allotment, the stuff's also gone over quite a lot. I've still got the runner bean framework and that to come down. The outdoor tomatoes are still there with a few still hanging on. Saying that, the hanging baskets in the garden, the begonias, are still in full flower. I'll pop a little clip in now to show you. And they seem to be going good. There's still other work I want to get out on there, and we've still got a bit of harvesting. Might get our first parsnips out. The celery's still in there. The frost's not hurt there yet, so fingers crossed we can get that. And also some leeks and all, but that's going to be in the rest of the video a bit later on. Anyway, so first of all, I'm going to start clearing this up. Most of these peppers have withered and they've gone past the sell-by date. Saying that, I have managed to rescue a few, and there's still one or two more round hanging on. Not really one for the hot peppers. These have done extremely well this year in the wicking system. Next year, I'm in two minds whether to just grow the California wonder, because them are the type, the capsicums we tend to eat. But nonetheless, as I say, they've done very well. Once I've cleaned this out, I'm going to bag all the old compost up. We'll reuse that again. Tidy this up, and I can get some of the Vitapods in. Well, we're halfway home. There's 8 done, another 8 to go. What I've done, I've been separating got the clay pebbles, just put them in this mushroom tray there. What I do is run the hose pipe over them, gets all the loose soil off the edge. Let them dry in the sun and I'm good to go next year. These are the capillary wicks. I'll let them dry out, pull the root mass what I can out of there, and I think they'll be all right to go. I did actually wash these last year and they delaminated, so I'm not going to bother with that there, I'll just dry them out. And these are the root balls I've been getting. I usually think you can tell how good a plant is by its root ball. As you can see, that don't look too bad. I've got a few more here. And them look nice, and this is the spoils, the remainder of the soil. Still 1 or 2 roots in, but not a lot you can do about that. Again, I'll bag it up and let it dry out and add a bit of bloodfish and bone and whatever and use that in somewhere else, probably the potatoes for next year. And there we have it, all done. Not looking very pretty at the moment, but we'll soon sort that out. Amazing how much compost we got out. I've filled nearly 3 bags. The pots there, the 16 in total, I'm just going to leave them till I need them for next year. I know a lot of people will actually wash the pots as they've finished using them, but if I wash them now, they're probably going to get a bit dirty by the time I come to use them again, so I don't want to do it twice. Anyway, let's see about clearing the rest of this up. Right, let's just lift the cover off now. Ooh. As you can see, there's still quite a lot of water in there. And what I do, I've got a siphon. I just squeeze the bulb. It's got a one-way valve in, and that sucks it out. In the past, I've tried scooping it out, and I'll get wet, so I don't bother now. Just use a siphon. This brick here is just to support the centre of this structure, because quite a bit of weight in once the soil's wet of the peppers, and it does sink, so that does help a lot. And there's 1 or 2 stray clay pebbles that I missed. They'll go back into the bucket and dry in with the others. So that's them done and dusted. I'll put the top plates right at the bottom, then just overturn the trays. It keeps them nice and flat this way, and I'd rather do that than buckle by putting them outside. Also then it creates a nice level shelf ready to put the Vitapods on. As you can see here, considering a couple of days away from November, this is hanging on quite nicely. It hasn't been watered for about 5 weeks, so once the flowers drop off, I'm going to take the corms out. These 3 buckets here, you may recall, I planted some second cropping potatoes for Christmas. Only one threw up any foliage, and I think that's gone now. So they're gone by the wayside. I don't think I'm going to even try again in future. This is the state of the tomato bed. Still a few green ones, but they're not going to ripen now with the temperatures dropping. So I'm just going to rip them out and tidy it up. Quite noticeable how much the light levels have dropped the last 3 to 4 weeks. This weekend sees us move the clocks back 1 hour, which will bring it darker even earlier than afternoon. But nonetheless, crack on. As soon as this is done, the better. While we're on the clean-up mission, I thought I'd take you into the allotment greenhouse. The only thing remaining in there is a few peppers and 1 or 2 fruits still on there, but in Maine they've done their job as well. Tomatoes are well over, so I'm going to be emptying these buckets, the auto pots, and I think the plan for this is to use it mainly as a storage area during the winter. Just started tidying the board up in the greenhouse now. Second thoughts for next year, I probably will not bother planting peppers in the ear because this is the last picking, and as you can see there's still quite a lot. We've had absolute tons of the one in the greenhouse. So instead of filling this with peppers, what I might do is do a bit of companion planting, something like marigolds and that, because during the growing season with the tomatoes we've had quite a lot of whitefly as well, so possibly that'll help. Just harvesting some carrots for lunch, and I've still got 1.5 tanks. Hopefully I'll be able to store these over the winter in situ. I'll just put a cover over to keep most of the rain off. As you can see, these are the sweet candle, and they're coming out a decent size, and they've got the round end which was tending to lose and all, but there's a few I've pulled out and they've got this symptom, and I've read about it on the internet. It's called necking, where they seem to put no size, it actually shrinks in the waist and goes out again. And that's 3 in a line. I don't know whether it's something in the soil or the area or what, but hopefully there's going to be more like that than this. Cabbages have almost finished now. Down to the last, this is the 3rd, 3 to go. Nice clean root ball again now, club root, thankfully. Save these leaves for the worm bin. No matter what time of year, you're always going to get these little slugs on the cabbages. What we tend to do, I'll take these into the kitchen now, just get a bowl, put a drop of salt in, put that in, and all the creepy crawlies come out, and you've got a nice clean piece of veg for your dinner. I noticed most of you out in YouTube land have already got your garlic planted. As usual, I'm running a bit late. This bed here is where I tend to plant my garlic, and what I do with my allium beds, onions and the garlic is give them a top dressing with superphosphates, and also add a little bit of extra nitrogen. In this case I've used chicken pellets, although you could use sulphate of ammonia if you wanted. And with the rain we've had recently, that's washed in nicely, so it's ideal, ready to go now. The soil's nice and moist, so the cloves will actually push in. The overnight temperatures we've been getting, dropping now. I think last night was just below 4 degrees, which is an ideal time. Planting now will give chance to put a few roots out, and then we can get the vernalisation period, which is a set period of cold temperature, which the garlic actually needs. And once it's had that, then you can do the stratification. It's where the bulb actually splits into the clove. So the bulbs are actually in the greenhouse now. Let's pop inside and have a look what we got. These 3 bulbs here have a variety called Allotment, and 5 ones here, a variety called Marco. Now I'm led to believe that these are no longer available on the market, so desperation, I want to try and keep these going. These was kindly supplied to me by Nick from Nick's Allotment. Now when you're separating the cloves from the bulb, I like to do mine the very last minute, so just break them off inspect them, make sure they're in good condition. A lot of people I've seen will actually split them into cloves as soon as they get them. I always tend to leave right to the last minute because it's tough. I think the bulbs actually benefit from it. So that's just a personal choice. Well, those 3 bulbs give us quite a good selection there. That's what I got out of it. Just one duffer, and that's that one there. A little bit on the squidgy side, so I'll be going into the bin. So there's really no need to tidy these up like this before planting. They'll grow, but the way I look at it, the more dead material I remove now, the less chance there is for them to rot. So I've got the cloves here, there's, I guess 25 to 30. We'll start planting, but before I put them in, I'm going to bring into show is this little thing here, and this is a much sought after, no longer made Wolf Garden row marker, and I'm in deep debt to my mate again, Nick from Nick's Allotment, because he actually found one of these for me. I was looking for a number of years, and so they don't make them for some reason, very popular, and don't make them anymore. Anyway, these markers here, they're totally adjustable. You can slide them along to whatever spacings you want. That's just right for what I want for the garlic. So I'm going to pop this into the bed. Normally you use this, drag it into the soil, and it'll create even spaced drills for you to sow seeds. But in my case, for the garlic, I'm going to be putting them on the soil, push down, and the depressions, holes they leave, I'm going to be using then to just drop the garlic straight in. Well, Lady Luck must have been on my side, because 7 in a row, 4 rows, 28, exactly the number of bulbs I had. Now, when planting garlic, I know quite a lot of people will plant them with just the tip slightly below the surface. With me, I like to plant them around about a bulb's depth, because once they start putting out roots, they'll actually push themselves up, and by planting them that deep, there's no need to disturb them by pushing them down again. Don't, of course, forget to add your row markers so you can tell where they are. And once I've covered up the cloves, I tend to give mine just a little tamp down, not too hard, just to make sure the soil in contact, and then let them get on their happy way. Today is the 11th of November, and it's the ideal time to reflect on the brave souls that gave the utmost for our country what it is today. And for that, I'll thank them very much. I'm just in the process now of tidying these up. These are the Marco, and I'll be going out in the bed, and also a few other tanks, exactly the same as the original Lemaine did. It's been quite a while, as I said before, since I put a video up, and I think the last one I did was the memorial tribute to Dave Taylor. And I must say a big thank you to everybody who left kind message on it. It was really quite heartwarming to see that, and I know Dave himself would have been very, very proud. And like I said, I was on holiday for 3 weeks, and Dave's funeral took place in that time. However, when I came back, Dave's close friends and colleagues had arranged a gathering, a nice memorial to Dave. He's celebrating his life, actually, and I was able to attend that, and I must say he'd have been also very proud of that. A fantastic turnout. There's a nice selection of food on there, hot stuff, samosas, sandwiches, stuff like that, cold drinks, wine, even beer, I think. But now Dave was a log person throughout Birmingham and all over the place, in fact, and throughout the time I was there, probably there a couple of hours, there was people coming and going. There must have been 100 attend in total. And what they'd done, and also they'd created a little, I say memorial, it was a photograph of Dave in his usual chill-out gear, sitting in the back of his loved Volvo estate. But the bottom over there was a number of pipes, because as you probably know, Dave was a great pipe smoker. And one of the people who'd been to his flat and that said he'd got an enormous amount of pipes, and they'd bought a selection at the bottom. Well, I couldn't leave without one, could I? So I've actually This one here is one of Dave's, and it's actually been bit and chewed off at the end. And there's a lasting memory of Dave. I'm going to be fixing this up, wiring it up and hanging it in the greenhouse. So I'll be keeping watch of what I'm doing in the greenhouse, looking after the dog cabbage. But now that's one of Dave's pipes. I'm glad to have that, be hanging up in the greenhouse, and a great memory. Before we, after we left the gathering, me and my mate decided to have a quick look at the allotment, because it would probably be very, very similar to the last memories Dave would have of it. And as we got there, there's only one other allotment here on the side. Most of them, a lot of them had come up to the gathering, like. But we went in, we had a look around, and the way I first remember it, it was a long, straight path, and 2/3 of the way down there's a crossroads, but that was just blocked of weeds and everything, brambles, and that it's totally impassable. As we look down now, that was all cleared, and there's actually people working on plots way past there. So the allotment had all more or less been completely done. And just having a stroll around, I had a little smile to myself, remembering things that happened when Dave was there, comments he'd made, which unfortunately I had to cut out. But, no, it's a great memory too, and Dave would have loved to know how he left it in a great state. And I think that there's a plan to put some kind of memorial. I don't know what shape or form that's going to be on the side, but there will be something on there. And once that's done, I'll nip down and have a look and see what they've got up to. But it wasn't until I was leaving the site. There's a brick-built toilets, 2 toilets in there. And as usual, I noticed a sign on the door, and I thought I'll just take a look at that. And it was a typical Dave, which made me chuckle quite a lot. The first notice showed his detail to care and attention for the other plot holders, but the other one was also a reminder to a few people of his wit and humour. I'll leave the last few words with Dave.